Hey guys, welcome to Neon Dream. This is a base tour of my base on this vanilla server for this wipe. Usually I don't give Rust bases names. I think it's kind of corny, like whenever old people name their houses at the beach. But whenever I built this base, I just got a few lights up and I'm like, okay, this just feels like a Neon Dream. So I named it Neon Dream. I'm one of those old people now. So you can tell that the base is heavily cyberpunk influenced. You know, got that neon look to it, lots of lights everywhere. This super cyber feel to it. The lasers and the neon lights. I had a lot of fun figuring out what type of lighting is possible with all the neon lights in the game. The neon lights in Rust are one of the coolest additions that I've seen in the game. I absolutely love it. You can use them for accent lighting, all sorts of designs. This base is built on a vanilla solo server, so it's no mods, no admin abuse, no admin spawning in items, no skin box or anything like that. So all these are skins that I own. I did all this work myself. You know, no help whatsoever. It's a solo server, so that means you can't team with other people. You can't get help from anybody. All these batteries, they are fully charged and fully output. They're all completely maxed out. You can see the power plant that I use to power all these freaking lights. It's solar panels, and the solar panels, there's 100 of them here, by the way. The solar panels, I've really taken a liking to them because before they were 25 high quality each, but they changed the cost to be only 5 high quality and 1 tech trash, which is totally doable, especially if you run launch and ORIG and things like that. So I built a ton of solar panels, and my power plant here actually puts out 2,000 power. So it's plenty to charge all those large batteries and more. I do have a shop attached to my base. Yes, one of the vending machines actually does something. This made me a ton of high quality this wipe. Probably about, if I had to estimate, I'd say 1,500 to 2,000 high quality profit from that shop, which has been really nice. I have lots of auto turrets on Peacekeeper mode. These fences here keep people from meleeing the auto turrets down with like spears and LOSing them to kill them and get the guns out. You can't do that if the fences are up, but the auto turrets can shoot out of the fence if they need to. I use a lot of the neon lights as accent lights, so that's why they don't have designs on them. They're just all one color. Some of the light bleeds through into the opposite side of the wall, which gives it this really cool effect. This is where I grow my food. This is what I like to call the attitude adjustment chamber. It's 6 auto turrets, all with bolt action rifles, and they're all, you can see the inside of this is it's all chain link fences, and we have the electric heaters. It gives it this kind of nasty, evil red glow kind of look. Reminds me of the Silent Hill video games, if you ever played those, whenever the world goes into like the nightmare world with all the rusted chain link fence and all the weird lighting. It reminds me of that. Well, yeah, that happened a lot while building this base. People did, just as Rust usually goes, you know, people, they're out to get you. So building this base wasn't always easy, but I managed it. One pro tip, if you're new to the game, whenever you come outside to build, don't bring all of your stuff out with you at once. Just bring like 1,000 wood, 1,000 stone, a few hundred metal, and that way if somebody kills you while you're trying to add on to your base, it's not that big of a deal. I have an elevator here. And this leads to a loot room. It's fully enclosed by armored walls. I use the drop boxes to move loot back and forth. I'm playing on Jeremy's solo server. That tower is gonna light up and come to life. He has a circuit that looks for sunlight, and whenever it turns nighttime, the tower lights up. I'll show you all that whenever it happens. This base, if you think the base looks interesting right now, wait until the sun goes down, and this place is really gonna look cool. A lot of people ask me, how do you build a base like this? Like, do you have like a schematic, or did you have an idea? You know, how did you do this? And the answer is I didn't have any idea. I just kind of built a 3x2, and I just started adding on to it. And whenever I want to try something, I try it. Like this laser fence here with all the laser detectors. I wondered if that would look cool. I wanted to create a... If you've seen the Resident Evil movie, I'm sorry, by the way, but if you've seen it, it reminds me of the thing when they're in the hallway and the lasers are coming down. I wanted to try to emulate that effect, and I think it worked out quite nicely. And some things, you know, I put them onto the base and they don't look good, and I end up taking them down. I've added a lot of things to this base that didn't look good, and I'll just, you know, it's a trial and error exercise. The neon, you see how it's this side here, more power. It's you know, explaining to everyone that this base continually needs more power. I wanted some of the signs to have that, just like real fluorescent neon signs. They have that flicker going on where they're like on their last leg. I wanted to do that, so I used one of the neon signs that have the different frames. So frames 1 and 3 don't have the P, but frame 2 does have the P and power. And whenever you set it up like that, it gives the sign gives it that busted neon look to it, which is really, really cool. And now that the sun's going down, you can really see how the neon lights, the accent lighting on the neon, really gives the base a totally different look. See how the neon, it bleeds through? Whenever it bleeds through, that's what starts really looking cool here. And I feel like I've only scratched the surface with what's possible with the neon lights. I think in terms of using them for lighting, I think there's a lot that we haven't figured out yet, and we're going to be able to do some really cool optical effects once we keep messing with them. Alright, I'll take you guys inside now. First, let's take a look at the base just at nighttime. I love it. You see so when I was a kid, that was a long time ago, but whenever I was a kid and I'd wake up in the middle of the night and the TV had that station turned off thing where like the station wasn't coming through and the TV looked like that, you just scared the shit out of me. I don't know if anybody else thought that was creepy, but I did, so I decided to pay homage to it with a neon light that looks just like it right there. More vagrants. You can see the attitude adjustment chamber is really coming to life here. Go ahead and go inside. So, just like most of my bases, this one does have a defense built into it that's more than just, you know, here's my loot, and one moment please. I'm making a YouTube video, Trevor. One moment. So a lot of people just put their garage doors, and, you know, here's my loot. If you get the garage doors down, you get my loot. This base isn't like that. These are actually armored walls that go into armored bunkers. So behind these are suicide bunkers, and there's two different ones. There's one there, and there's one there. And they're separated with a room in between, which means that you can't splash it. So bare minimum to get the two 1x1 armored loot rooms, and then there's the one upstairs too. You know, you're looking at minimum 50 rockets, and I didn't give a lot of thought to this base, and that just goes to show the extraordinary power of loot separation. I actually made a video about loot separation a couple of weeks back. Whenever you spread out your loot like that and use drop boxes to separate it, it just exponentially increases the strength of your base. This leads to my vending machine. I've now reached the stage of the wipe where the floor is boxes. have so much loot that all I have, there's nowhere else to put it. I've given up the ability to have a floor, and there's just boxes everywhere. I raided a base yesterday that had 1,800 high quality in it, and boxes of guns, enough sulfur and gunpowder to make 30 more rockets. I mean, it was epic. I wish I would have recorded it. Here's a good example. So there's blue neon lights on the outside, but you can see that the blue light is coming through, it's bleeding through the wall in here. Same thing with the purple lights over there. I have my mini copter in here, which I've got stuck like 8 times already because it's too narrow, but I'm just gonna pretend like that's not happening. I can confirm that with this many solar panels, the sunlight does indeed go brrrr. I have a furnace base over here. It has an ore refinery in it and a large furnace for cooking. Nothing particularly special about it, but I'll show it to you. And then the ore refinery is on the other side. Also have a spawn point that's nearby, and I've made this spawn point on probably 6 months ago on a different server with this really hilarious design, and I loved it so much that I keep making it now, and I'll show it to y'all. So it's this little bedroom over here. It's just a little 1x1 with a TC on it and a bed, and it's got its own power system and respawn. So I can respawn over here with a bed, which is on a different timer than my main base, and for some reason this just kills me. I just think it's hilarious. People walk by and they get a kick out of it too. So you can see for that now that the sunlights went away, the solar panels triggered the admin's power tower. This is Jeremy's solar server, and he has it linked up to where the lights come on at night whenever the solar panel doesn't receive sunlight anymore. It's a really cool, it uses a blocker circuit with timers. I actually have a video that shows you how to do that with fireplaces and other wood burning or low-grade fuel burning light sources as well, if you wanted to check that out. I had a horsey in here, but I let him starve to death last night. I feel really bad about it. I think I'm going to do a video on horses, actually. Horses are extremely, extremely good in Rust. It's far better than people give them credit for. As a matter of fact, the problem with the vehicle system in Rust are horses. Horses are the reason the cars aren't very good in Rust. Horses are unbelievable. There's so many things that you can do with horses that people don't think about. Yeah, I'm definitely making a video about how good horses are. Alright guys, that's the tour of Neon Dream. I hope you enjoyed this base tour, and I'll see you in the next video.